Hello, I'm Town Manager Ron Angelo with Southbridge, Massachusetts, and I'm here today because I want to showcase another Southbridge business. As you know, one of the things I've been regularly doing is talking to area business leaders to let citizens know just the great type of businesses we have here in town. Today I'm really excited. I have Pete from Fins and Tails, and Pete's here to talk to me a little bit about Fins and Tails and what a great facility you have. First, Pete, I know you're a long-time businessman in town. Tell me a little bit about your history here in this restaurant. And I'm told it's 10 years you've been here, so tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We bought the building actually about 14 years ago. And originally my wife had the idea of having a fabric store here, and I had worked in town of Sturbridge forever and decided to make the move over to Southbridge. And we moved her upstairs, and we renovated the whole first floor, turned it into a restaurant. We have 2 dining areas, the bar, and we have a function room on the other side that we do wedding rehearsals and all kinds of events. The Southbridge Lions Club actually came with us 10 years ago, and so 10 years has been is going to be in February. And February, March, 10 years ago, we did a sample dinner for the Lions, and they've been with us ever since. They meet every Tuesday night. They take the summers off, but they meet with us every Tuesday night.
Pete, let's start off with something really simple because people need to know. And mostly you think everybody knows, but they don't. Exactly where are we located right now? Where's the restaurant located?
We are at 858 Main Street in Southbridge, just over the Sturbridge border, right by Big Bunny and Petromax, and we're on the corner of Main Street and Pleasant. So,
I've had a number of times, Pete, where me and my family have come to eat here, and we really enjoy it. Tell me, what is sort of the favorites here? I mean, I know this restaurant serves a variety of different types of food. Tell us a little bit about your variety and what is sort of the main dishes at your restaurant.
We do everything from seafood, steaks, but our seafood is probably our biggest. We buy fresh. They deliver 3 times a week. Out of Rhode Island, we do Wilfred Seafood, and out of Boston, we do a fresh haddock that we sell quite a bit of, and we do fresh oysters. We do clams. We do our biggest dining room items are a braise, which is on the other end. So we do a braised lamb shank, braised pork shank, short rib. We can braise just about anything. When you can braise one thing, you can braise it all. But they're the biggest sellers, especially when the cold weather comes. The lamb shank and the short rib are the 2 biggest sellers, I would say.
Do you do a shrimp or
yes,
shrimp or
we do
lobster?
We do all the traditional. Baked stuffed shrimp is a big seller. We do lobster, more seasonal. We always have lobster, but the actual live lobsters we do more seasonally, when the nice weather comes. So we do the steamers, lobsters, the whole fried clams, homemade onion rings. Our big thing is I try to keep everything fresh. If I don't have to buy it frozen, we don't. The only item you can't find in seafood fresh is probably shrimp, and everyone probably knows that, but at some point it has been frozen or it is frozen. But other than that, we try to do everything fresh here, and I think that's made the difference over these years.
When I come here, Pete, I look at this restaurant, I find it a very comfortable setting. And I know the couple times I've been here, it's not a noisy restaurant, it's a very comfortable kind of layout. And I know you've done a lot of work, making this look nice. Frankly, one of the few restaurants in town that kind of does what I would call American food or a casual thing. Do you have a lot of families here? Is it young people? What do you get for a clientele at Fins and Tails?
Actually, we the whole spectrum, I would say. We get a lot of. I can see that the younger crowd is starting to come in as they get old enough to actually come out on their own. They're here, and a lot of people that I've known from town forever are good customers. From older ages to I consider my age, middle age, and the younger crowd. So we get them all, actually.
We're all moving up in that age thing, Pete. No, I understand completely. Hey, I got to tell you, I enjoy coming here, and I've had an opportunity to have the steak here, which is really, really good. I imagine you get a lot of repeat business. You have people that come over and over and over again for years.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, actually, even weekly. Some people nightly. We have a couple guys that just obviously do not cook, and they come here nightly. So we have a lot of regulars, absolutely.
Before we get into the catering aspect of your business, because I know you do some catering, tell me about the outside business during the summertime. I know you have an outdoor business. I actually sat there one time and had, I think, fried clams or something out on the outside. Tell me a little bit about your summertime outdoor business.
As soon as the weather starts getting nice, that's when we open up the takeout area. We put a few picnic tables out, and I actually added on a small little bump out where we do a takeout stand, and that's when the whole clams and the homemade onion rings and the meatball burgers and long dogs and those kind of things fly out of there. And it's just that was one of the better ideas we had, was to open up a seasonal clam shack, we could call it, actually. And that goes from when the weather starts getting nice in April and May to September. Around the first week of September, you can tell kids go back to school and things slow down on that end. And then we start with the fall and spring are our two busiest times of the year, and that function room that we have really comes into play then when we do a lot of wedding rehearsals for spring and for spring and the fall months.
Again, I'm here at Fins and Tails Restaurant, and we have an opportunity to look a little bit at this facility. One of the great things I know you do is you host functions. I've been here for a Southbridge Business Partnership function. I've been here for actually a couple of different. I think I was here for a Lions event. And you have a back room that you actually do some catering and things to. Tell me a little bit about serving different groups and organizations.
Yes, we try to keep that room. That room has a maximum capacity of 65 to 70 people, and what we do is we've always been here to cater to the different organizations in town. We're always willing to, entertain the Southbridge business. And every time we do something new, there's someone that hasn't been here before. That's what I'm trying to get at. And there's always someone that says, "Oh, I've been driving by there for years. I always wanted to come in and try it." And once they get in here, they really don't expect to see what they see once they get inside. We've pretty much we took the oldest of the building and we just kept everything here that we could. We just redid the floors. My wife actually made all the tablecloths and napkins that we wash here. Linen company we use for minimal amount of things. The chairs, the tables. We just put the whole place together. It did take us a couple of years to get it all going because it had no resemblance of it. It was a furniture store actually before we took over and decided to turn it into a restaurant. So it did take us a while, but everything here that you see is part of what was originally here. Just different paint. We put up a couple private partitions, and then these decorations here are part of our Christmas and holiday lore. Actually, it changes after the season. She'll put the pictures back up that we actually got from the town library, which are very, some of the original pictures from town. Actually, this building's 200 years old, so 200 years old plus.
So how did you come up with the name Fins and Tails? I see that kind of place right in the ocean.
Yes.
But you have Fins and Tails. How did you come up with that name?
Actually, that was a tough one. When we started talking about a name for the restaurant, we couldn't come up with, we didn't know Peters or, just 858 Main. It seemed like everybody had already been using numbers. So what we did, we actually, Chris Thierry from Smith & Jones was the name of her business at the time. She was someone I went to high school with, and she came up with a bunch of names, and we told her we wanted to do seafood, and then we told her we wanted to have the bar and the atmosphere. That's why we spelled Tails, T-A-L-E-S, the tales we tell at the bar, was part of getting people in the door. And the sign was done by a local John Cloutier down at his sign shop, and that sign brings in a lot of people, and people have made a lot of comments on it.
Tell me about your bar traffic. So you can come here, you can actually have a drink.
Yes.
So there is drinks right at the tables. The tables are very nice. And we're obviously here when the restaurant is closed. I didn't want to disturb your customers when we talked about this business.
Yep.
But the restaurant has seating for you to have your dinner, have a nice drink at your table with your meal. But you can also go and enjoy the bar as well. So even after the dinner hour ends, what are your hours? And
actually, this time of year we open at 4 o'clock. So anytime from 4 to 9 during the week, because people seem to be home after that anyways. And then on the weekends we stay open till 10. If we do private parties, we're open until any hour that they decide they'd like to stay till. But yeah, the bar business is absolutely a big attraction. So we try to do specialty drinks. Fall, winter. Actually, my daughter was here last night. Made a multitude of drinks and had some good customers that come quite often in to try them out. So we do take a lot of requests and things people like. I'm lost for words here. We take into consideration and try to put them on the menu.
I get a sense, even at the bar crowd, it's more of just a talkative crowd. It's not, obviously, this is not a rowdy bar. This is more of a family-oriented bar where people come and talk and have a drink. Yep. So it's a nice kind of place to gather just to socialize. You want to, if you have a business meeting, you want to come here for a dinner and be able to talk at the bar or something. It seems to me a very comfortable setting for discussion. Does that pretty much fit it?
Yes, I would say so. When we first started the restaurant, that's the avenue that we took. We wanted it to be a place where people would feel comfortable. It wasn't going to be a loud place. It wasn't going to be a lot of yelling back and forth. We didn't want to open up the sports bar type. So we kept down the casual. It's definitely what do we like to call it? Upscale casual dining, we'll call it. Yeah.
So one of the things that everybody's going to want to know about Fins and Tails, because that's one of the factors for a lot of people, is prices. Yeah. So would you consider yourself a middle-range family kind of pricing, high pricing, low pricing? Tell me a little bit, how does your pricing relate to your product? And I know you serve good quality, because I've had the quality is really good.
That's the thing. What we had done is, the beginning, when we first started 10 years ago, I thought myself, I knew I was coming to Southbridge, and I wanted to be, I had come from a family restaurant. So we took the best of what we learned there, and the first chef I had hired had done a lot of things that I hadn't done before. So after the first year or two, we started to get acclimated. We realized what the town was looking for, and that's when we put everything in that menu. From you can get a chicken parm dinner or a hamburger for middle of the road pricing, and then we also certain times we ever offer a filet, which would probably be the most expensive thing on the menu. And the lamb shanks and the pork shanks, it all goes, and the pricing goes by. Actually, truthfully, because we buy fresh all the time and pricings fluctuate, we change the menus more for the reason of trying to get the variety in there, and then we're able to adjust the pricing that way so that people are getting we feel as though it's quality for the price. Yeah.
So we're trying as a town, we're trying to get people to shop more here in Southbridge. And frankly, folks, if you want to go out for a nice casual dinner, you want to relax, you want to be in good company, you want to chat at a reasonable price, you want to come down here to Fins and Tails and enjoy a fine meal. It's nice to see somebody here that's been in business for 10 years. We need to support our local businessmen. They're part of our tax base, so everything they help in terms of paying taxes helps us as residents as well. Pete, I want to thank you. I know you've been a great business partnership. You've been helping the Southbridge Business Partnership. I know you're a member of that organization. Yes. And that's what we need. We need business people like you, owners, who network, who work together to try to improve the business climate here in town. So thank you for your support of our town. Thank you for your work with the business partnership. And I hope that we get a lot of customers to come down and check out your place. I've been here. I know it's good. I've had the food, both in a event kind of setting as a meal setting. I'm very pleased to recommend this as a place and hope that you will join Pete and his great staff here to enjoy a fine meal. Pete, thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope we can continue to work together.
Thank you very much.